20 line is the line that starts down. See where it says depression line? Starts down there and it goes up to the little finger, and that section between that depression line and the head line, that's about age 20, 30, 40, and then it crosses over, and that is usually from 45, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I get two lines, two incomes in your 20s, then one line in your 30s. So I get two lines to start with in your 20s, and then one line in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. A good strong line that goes up. And now if you get, if you happen to have gone to school and got financial aid or anything, you have to count that as an income. Okay, underneath that Mercury finger, this is where your marriages and your relationships and your children show. See where the flirt lines are at the end of that head heart line? And those little tassels, they're really quite good little tassels. That's means you interact well with people. And then that space between the flirt lines and the ring around the little finger, you divide that into thirds. The marriage and relationship lines will go horizontal from the outside of the hand in. And the relationship lines are quite light, and the marriage lines are kind of dark. So you divide that section between the flirt lines and the ring around the Mercury finger into thirds. The first third would be about age 20, 30. Second third is about 40, 50, and the last third is 60, 70, 80. So I see one relationship line. It's very light line. It's not a real good relationship line. Then your marriage line is very, very good. It's got a little fork in it. It might mean that it might mean that you'll have to work in different towns or places, that you've got a little separation because of distance, but it doesn't mean that the marriage is bad. It's an excellent marriage line, I'll tell you honestly. It's got really nice dark color in it. Now the children lines usually will come down from the ring around the Mercury finger, little tiny short lines about 1/8 of an inch long, but I did see one little what was probably a miscarriage line in there. It wasn't a very good line anyway, but I didn't see any other lines. The length of your fingers are your talents. Everyone has talents. No one gets cheated. So long fingers mean one thing, short fingers mean another thing. Nothing's good or bad. That's just the way you're born. And then the palm shapes. Look down there in your lower right-hand corner of your chart. The palm shapes are important. There's square, there's round, there's long, there's mixtures. You got kind of a squarish palm, kind of a rectangular palm. Athletic and practical. You like to move around when you work. Sitting at a desk is not your favorite thing to do. Types of fingertips. This is your personality. You're all five are round, intuitive, quick, very compassionate. Generally people with those rounded fingertips are in the health field, like the doctors, nurses, social workers. Jump down there to the thumb now. Your thumb is short. That's excellent. That means you work well with numbers. You're good at math. Very good. That's not often I see that short thumb, especially on a woman's hand. To the Jupiter finger now, the index finger. Let me explain these names. Palmistry is about 2,000 or 3,000 years old, and they had gone through and they named all of the fingers and different areas of the palm, mostly with names of Greek gods or goddesses or astrological names. So that index finger is the Jupiter finger, the middle one's the Saturn, the ring is the Sun finger, sometimes called the Apollo finger, and the little finger is the Mercury finger. In that section, I was going to say between the heart and the headline, but you don't have a section there. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, that area, well, it'd be just above your headline, your head-heart line. That section is called the Mars area, and then the area just at the base of your thumb, the fat pad there, that is called the Mount of Venus. Venus, goddess of love. And you're quite dehydrated. You need to drink more water, 32 ounces a day. That shows up there on that sixth sense too. I'm getting a little bit of skin in there. That should be a nice little fat pad. Okay, let's go back to the fingers here. The thumb, that short thumb, that's your numbers one. Your Jupiter finger, the index finger, that's long, that's nice. The boss, the manager, the supervisor, leadership. Let's see, what do you, oh, you're an art, oh, you're a painter and artist. Oh, and you're probably a good one too. You've got a good creative finger. That business finger's a little bit short. That needs to be the length of the palm. It's a little bit short, concerned with social issues, very compassionate, very caring about your fellow man. Now that creative finger is the sun finger. That's about average. That needs to come up to about halfway on that top joint on that business finger. And it just does. Creative, imaginative, inventive, abstract thinker. And then when that's short, practical, systematic, and organized. So you got both qualities there. Oh, you got a line that runs up from the palm into the finger, and that's a creative achievement line. Oh, I guess that that could be anything if you're an artist. That little finger is your scholarly finger. It's a little bit short. Hands-on person, very active. Sitting at a desk is not your favorite thing to do. This is your guardian angels, and your visits from guardian angels. So the lines that come off the bottom of that lifeline, that will be your guardian angels in your left hand. In your right hand, the lines that come off the bottom of that lifeline, that's a visit from a guardian angel. So your guardian angels now on the left hand only, the line goes up and touches on that lifeline at the age when you had a loved one that someone you bonded to has died and has become a guardian angel to you. Someone like grandparents, your parents, your siblings, your aunties, uncles, cousins, old girlfriends, old boyfriends. So this is the age you were when they died and they become a guardian angel to you. At age 12, 17, 33, and 47. So think who had died at those ages, and they're guardian angels to you. Now, a visit from a guardian angel will show in your right hand only. And the line will come up, it'll touch at the base of that line, but it doesn't make a tiny line that goes across both lines like that. The guardian angel line makes a little tiny bitty line that goes across the lifeline. But on the right hand, it doesn't do that. It just comes up and touches at the bottom of the lifeline. That's a visit from a guardian angel. Say you've been sick, or if you've had an accident, or if you're in distress, or if you have someone that has died that's a loved one. Very often their spirit goes around and checks on their loved ones before they go off into the light, before that spirit goes off into the light. So it's going to make a light that comes up and touches. Let me see if you've got any that coordinate with. Oh, you didn't have any that were the same as who your guardian angels are. So the red lines are the visits from guardian angels. Where it says divine intervention, here's the ages when you had visits: 13, 24, 40, and 49. Ooh, you're 49 right now. The cervical vertebrae are going to show underneath that Jupiter finger. That's 1 through 7. 1 through 7. The the thoracic vertebrae is going to show on that line 1 through 12 under the Saturn finger. Under the sun fingers, your lumbar, your lower back vertebrae will show under that sun finger, and then under the Mercury finger it's going to show your tailbone if that's out. You're out in the tailbone too. Not only are you out clear along the spine, I don't very often see that tailbone out. You might be getting some sciatica. Boy, that'll drive you crazy. And then there's a line under, and see the depression line? Run your finger over across where it says Atlas axis, that vertebrae 1, C, 2C. Run your finger over on that 1C and that 6C, and that's the depression line, and that's making that big old depression line that comes down from that heart headline and goes into that mound of Luna area. You don't want to see anything going in that Luna area. And that's quite a dip in that depression line. I think you're getting a lot of depression. Then that line right underneath where it says depression line, it says health line. That's your internal organs. That's your colon, your spleen, your liver, usually the organs in the lower part of your body, and that's really stressed. That's because you're out in that lower part of the body. Okay, you can see where I've got all those little red circles along there. That's the spine that's all out of place. I'm wondering if you've ever been to a chiropractor. I can't imagine that you have. Now, wouldn't that be interesting if you straighten up that spine and that heart line starts to develop? The lines can change in the hand a little bit. It takes about 3 months for them to change. But you get that spine straightened up and you're going to see a major difference in your life and how you feel, and your emotional health is going to change. That depression line will disappear when you get that spine straightened up. If indeed you can straighten that spine up. I would think you could. Now, there is not a break in that line. All there is just a little islands in it. There isn't a break in the line. If there's a break in the line, there's a major problem in the spine, but there isn't a break there. The fate line, that's the one that starts at the bottom of your hand, bottom of your palm, goes up to the Saturn finger only. If it goes anywhere else, it's not the fate line. Look in your lower right hand corner of your chart. The fate line is an example of your career and your lifestyle. Doesn't tell me which, but whenever that line breaks, it's a change in one or the other. Generally, it's a change in both. Well, not necessarily. I can't tell which, though. Most of my palmistry books say career and lifestyle both on the fate line. So, two starts to that fate line. It starts down the middle of your palm. You're a private person. You got to have a little private time. If it starts to the outside of the palm, you're kind of sociable, and you have to have your friends and family around you all the time. Yours is private, and that starts at age 20. At the base of that palm. Alright, going up now. Oh, sometimes it doesn't break. Sometimes you'll just get little forks off that line. They're like minimum little changes. At age 24, a little bit of a change. 30, 33, there was a big break in the line at 33. Kind of a big change. And that crosses over that heart headline. And then at age 45 you got a little change, kind of breaks right there. And then age 60 you got a break. Age 61 to 80, that goes 80 is where that hits that line at the base of the Saturn finger. 61 to 80, there's two lines down there at age 61, and they split. One goes to the left side of the Saturn finger, and the other goes straight up. When that goes to the side of the Saturn finger, that means that your spine's been jammed. But we already know that. We just don't know why it was jammed or when it was jammed. But when that goes off that side, that means the spine's jammed. Then that line crosses over the ring at the base of the Saturn finger and goes up into the finger. That's age 80. You're going to live till you're 89 because it goes up there for a good inch more. Okay, the lines, now go to the upper left-hand corner of your chart. These are your achievement lines. They're the lines that come off the top of that lifeline. I didn't draw the lines in, I just marked the date, the age. And it's going to show, the line will come up off the top of that at the age you were when you had the achievement. Now, in between the thumb and the Jupiter finger, where that lifeline starts, that's about age 10. So I just take my cursor and run that down that line. About every 1/8 of an inch is about a year. About every 1/2 inch is about 7 years. So here's the ages when you got the achievements. The lines that are really, sometimes those achievement lines point to that Jupiter finger, or they'll go straight up. If they're extra long, I've circled it, they're extra good. Or if they're real thick, or if they've got a lot of color in them, I've circled them. That means extra good achievements. And I've circled the good achievement lines. Okay, at age 10, here's your achievement lines. Age 10, 14, 18, 26, 28, circled at 33, circled at 40, 42, 48, 51, 55, 57, circled at 59, 62, 63, 64, 70, and circled at 73. That one at 73 was a really good one.